Welcome to episode 8, Knights of the Square Tablet. Your host, Stridah the Champ here, and I'm joined by my usual crew of miscreants. We'll start off with the most toxic man in Chivalry 2, who has the distinction of not only being banned from Torn Banner's Twitch, but now their Discord as well, Coach Soter Dave.
Hello, hello.
And of course, we have the man who is so pure that he never even got detention in high school, Scotty Games.
I got detention once.
And I don't believe it.
I
Reed
did.
told me no.
I did. I tried to. There was a gas leak at the school, and I tried running away like the other kids, but I got caught.
Oh, slowest one. Don't have to be the fastest, but you can't be the slowest.
It's true.
All right. And we're joined from leagues and miles away. I had a great intro about being from the land down under, but he's not from Australia. And I only found out yesterday from New Zealand, New Zealand's finest, Spartan. What's going on, Mr. Spartan?
Also,
my camera just broke.
Yeah.
I see a lovely still of him looking distraught right now. And
turn
sad.
it off and on again, maybe. It might.
Right. That's off. On. What a nightmare this thing is to set up. Are we good?
I'm noticing now in this lovely still life that I'm the only stashless person here. Damn.
Oh, that's terrible.
Right?
Cleanly shaven as well.
Yes, cleanly shaven for the cast. I didn't get the memo. Everyone was going with facial hair. Damn. But we, I guess we'll proceed, cam issues or not. We have quite an agenda today. We thought we were going to have nothing to talk about the entire week. And then a bunch of stuff happened, and it's breaking Chivalry news. It just all came at once. It's crazy.
It's ridiculous, man. I took a week off, and like everyone, I did some Shiv games before the podcast, and everyone was rioting in the chat. Man, I'm like, anyways, sorry to interrupt.
I did some Diablo too, and I missed all the drama until today. Yeah. But let's start. We have a martyr among us, Coach Dave. What the hell happened?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm no saint, all right? Your boy Dave is not a saint. I've done ban-worthy things. I'm not afraid to admit it. But today, I just noticed that the Chivalry 2 Discord was not in my Discord server list. And I was like, that's weird. Let me try and rejoin the Discord, I guess. And I'm banned. And I have no idea why. I really don't. The last thing that I checked, because they have a little bot in there that basically like pokes you in case if you do anything bad. And I was like, well, let me see what the bot poked me about, right? It was like inflammatory language. Like, okay, well, that can't be it. So I really don't know. I have nothing for you. I don't have any idea what I was banned for. It probably is justified, but I don't know. No one told me anything. I didn't get any messages. So yeah, that's the situation.
He probably got same as like Sunder, the just shut the fuck up Dave ban. Like, we've had enough.
So I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna go ahead and like poke Torn Banner a bit in their mod team later tonight, see what happened. But in the meanwhile, 1984, George Orwell, all that.
Well, I mean, that's it. We got to do some investigating because I feel like the story of what Dave did needs to come out.
Right?
I'm sure he did some shit.
Yeah, I'm sure whatever they banned me for, I most likely deserved it. But like, I gotta know. I want to know myself. I don't even know what I did. So that's stupid. But
does anyone know if these things are usually time bans or this is just a make another Discord account type deal? Like it's a a life. He's a lifer.
Who knows? I like before that, I think my last punishment was because I posted a video in the Discord and they took down my video because it has my Metafy link in the description. And they said that was self-advertising. And so I wasn't allowed to post my video there. So I think I'm actually the only YouTuber who's not allowed to post videos in the Chivalry 2 Discord.
I mean, I don't post my stuff in there anymore just because link dumping usually doesn't get any views anymore.
Well, this was when I had like 500 subs.
Yeah.
That's the last. I never did it after that because they told me not to. But
you got shamed for it publicly.
Yeah. But anyway, I really have no other details other than that, so it's kind of not worth discussing beyond that.
Oh God, I still want to get the story. One of these
I do
days,
too.
The great mysteries. But not to be outdone by the coach getting a ban. We Ziggy Lada, everyone knows Ziggy, probably the biggest creator in the community. You know,
by far.
been here since day one. Has a lot to say. Very strong opinions, and he started the hashtag Save Chivalry campaign. I got that right.
Hashtag Save Chivalry 2.
Hashtag Save Chivalry 2 campaign, and he released a Reddit post, a tweet, a video on YouTube, and he brings up some good points. Boys. Now, I know Scotty didn't get to see the video.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, right before I started streaming in the podcast, I saw the post, but, you know, I just quickly read some of it, but I was starting the stream up, and then, but yeah, if you guys could summarize it, that would be amazing.
Facecam's working for Spartan.
This is a fucking nightmare, I tell you.
Hey, just keep it how it is. It's perfect. It's perfect.
I haven't touched anything.
Yeah.
All
Don't
right.
touch anything.
Spartan, did you miss everything in there?
No, I heard it all.
Okay.
Yeah, just this app doesn't like to work for me.
Oh, dude, it's kind of a pain, yeah.
It wrecks my camera, but
It's
we got
okay.
it sorted.
All right. Anyway,
I don't know what I did.
Damn, now I just keep thinking what Spartan said the hashtag should be. All right, Dave. So Dave, can you give us what the campaign basically?
Okay, so I can't really relate to the sentiments too hard in the video, but I still agree with most of what Ziggy said. Essentially, despite the fact that the developers of Chivalry 2 have grown and grown. Ever since the release of Chivalry 2, the developers have expanded. Obviously, it started with like 20 people, and now it's grown to nearly a 100-person studio. And they even mentioned that themselves. Like, they're quite proud of that achievement. And so they keep growing, but updates still keep coming out broken. And the latest update is probably, I don't want to say the greatest offender of the broken updates we received, but it definitely is not a weak offender. And he expresses how people are leaving the game because of how broken the game is, stuttering issues that are very, very oppressive to your ability to play the game to the point where you don't even want to play it. The fact that a modder has even possibly found a fix for it and expressed how easily it could be fixed for the developers, and they choose not to work with him to actually get it fixed. And all around, it just seems like they don't care. And I think that's the main idea that Ziggy was trying to express in the video, that it doesn't feel like they care enough, you know? Like, obviously, it's a kind of like a nuanced complaint, them not caring. And it's not really an objective flaw that you can point out like, oh, look, they don't care. But I can relate, and I feel like a lot of the people who play this game hardcore can also feel like Torn Banner doesn't care.
I think part of that comes, too, with the communication as they've grown more corporate through the last 2 years has become less and less. And, like, when we had the renowned dev on here, like, you talk to him for 5-10 minutes, you're like, this dude really cares about his game, and you
100%.
You don't get that sense of passion over there because they're not saying anything.
Yeah, we talked to him for like 30 minutes before that podcast.
Yeah,
too.
we had a
He's
great
cool.
conversation before we even casted with him about the game, and just, the passion just oozes out of him. And I can kind of relate to what Ziggy's saying. Like, where do you see any passion or that caring? And there's no communication at this point, and there's no community manager now. So.
Yeah, Torn Banner's behavior is indicative of a studio that has a community that's millions of people large. But we're dozens. We're not millions. We're barely we're barely in the thousands. We all know each other by name. We all interact with each other on a daily basis. I'm pretty sure the human brain can only like recognize like 150 people like as friends, and I know everyone in the community. So it's like, if it really begs the question, why so distant? Why are they not a part of us? Why are they so like on a different island?
And that's part of the charm with the community too, is everyone knows everyone. So I think it's like a super just close. It's so much different when you run into people in games and stuff than if you're playing Call of Duty. You're never gonna run into the big content creators or anything, or see the same person that you can have a rivalry with again. It's just to me, and you got such a passionate player base. So I think communicating and interacting with us would only grow that.
I don't even play often casually, right? I'll maybe get on like once a week, if that, like casual gameplay. And I always find someone on my friends list in a random pub. And it's like, it's like, this is a pretty small game. And so it really doesn't, it doesn't make much sense how just, distant they are. And then the few developers that are, interconnected with our community, are like the sound designer, like Moon. And we love them. We appreciate how close they are to us, and we appreciate that they listen to us. But it's like, why one offhanded dev? Why not an actual official support for us? And
I actually, with how corporate they're getting, the fact that Moon interacts and streams and is in the community is like just a blessing in of itself, because that would never fly in like a Call of Duty or a Battlefield.
And that was another aspect of Ziggy's video, is that the people in the dev team that do care are not the decision makers. That's another issue, that the people who are most educated about our community, and I honestly, no offense to them, I don't believe that they're that educated about our community. I believe we do have a lot more complex issues that they're completely ignorant to, that they have no power. And so you can only imagine how distant someone like the CEO is. If I asked you who the creative director of Chivalry 2 is, I doubt you could tell me.
I have no clue.
Exactly.
I know Moon, Jen when she was with us, and Connect. That's it.
Exactly. And so it's like, overall, we have a lot of issues. We could go on on hours and hours on all the ways that we feel neglected. But I feel like Ziggy's video captures our feelings pretty well, and it's like a 10-minute watch. So
yeah, it was a great watch. It was a great watch. I don't know if anyone in my chat can, if one of the mods can link that out to people, but it was really, there's nothing you could argue with the video. No. And I love too. So we're all PC guys, so we sometimes forget about people who are not on our inputs. But he spent a lot of time advocating for the console players who either cannot play the game, period, because it just blows up their systems. They can't input different controller configurations, kind of like, the black sheep of Chivalry, like no one cares about them. And I think it was nice to see that too.
That's weird, because they make up the majority of our player base. And so the fact that they feel like the most like second-class citizens in what is basically their game. I don't want to say it's their game, because we like it too, but it is essentially their game, and they're treated like garbage. I don't even think they can use keyboard and mouse if they wanted to on their console.
I think for someone to do that, they have to go through an extreme amount of effort of hacking the systems and buying weird products from Amazon.
I totally have always thought it was just like some kind of app that you could install on PS4 or Xbox. Is it really that much work? Do you know for sure?
For other games, it's plug and play.
Okay, for Chivalry specifically, it's harder to use.
For Chivalry specifically, it's not allowed. Consoles cannot do it. To my knowledge,
I didn't know that. Okay.
Right, but for other games, it's literally plug and play. Boom, done.
Okay.
It's free, right?
Yeah, and
it's free.
And that's a little bit more problematic, because unlike with an FPS game, I don't believe that the aim assist helps you too much with melee, right? We can always complain about the aim assist with archers being OP, but for most of your gameplay, I really think that a controller is slightly worse than a keyboard and mouse. And I think everyone here would agree with me. Mm-hmm. So it's the fact that you can't even use a keyboard and mouse if you want to, that sucks. And Ziggy highlights the fact that you can't change your binds, and it's just so many things. Go watch the video, but in summary, that's pretty much.
100%.
So I'm getting the overall impression is development cycle sucks for fixing issues, and the lack of care for consoles, combined with slow development pace in fixing issues. Is that a fair
pretty much
2-second summary?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, it's
that's what I got
due
from
to
the Reddit post. I didn't watch this video yet, but
I think this is due to the live service model. Whenever an update is out, there's two things that they're focusing on. One is content creation for the next update, and two is damage control for all the issues that they just caused with the current update. And so there is no time for anything else. It is simply just damage control, new content, damage control, new content, and that cycle is what I assume we're going to be dealing with for the rest of this game's lifespan.
I mean, all this kind of confirms my theory that the new developers are on to work on something else and not Chivalry, because there's no way.
And I hope that's not true, because that would be incredibly unethical.
Yeah, we
straight up.
Yep. Yeah, unless they were like, all right, guys, next month, here's a trailer for Shiv 3, and it's free.
Yeah. Then it's all
That's the
forgiven,
only way it would be ethical.
That's what Overwatch 2 did, and honestly, I would support that. I would totally support that. If they decided to make a sequel that deletes the original game and makes it free for everyone, dude, I'd be all on board. But, like, with the current way things are going, I don't believe there's a lot of wiggle room for them to actually improve the foundation of our game because of how forced the live service model feels, you know? And now with battle passes, it's like it feels extra forced, you know?
Yeah, the thing with the battle pass, it's done so quickly. I'm sure I know Scotty sometimes puts a lot of hours in stream, but that's probably two streams for Scotty to finish the battle pass, maybe, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's really, less than a week. But, like, I don't know. Battle passes are always... they just don't have enough content to even make a longer battle pass. So
yeah, there's a lot of filler content. Like I said, this last battle pass had 2 armor sets. 2.
Yeah,
That's
that
it.
sucked.
It had 2 new armor sets. That's pathetic.
A huge problem that Shiv has too is that the skins are specific to certain classes. So it's like,
we've talked about
I mean,
this.
like, dude,
that problem ain't going away.
playing
Yeah,
D4 and how cool the character customization is. I'm like, holy
that problem.
shit.
To
Game
be
looks so
fair,
beautiful.
that's a problem
Yeah.
with other games too. Chivalry has it to a lesser extent because they only have 12 different characters. But
Yeah.
like, look at Overwatch with like 30 or something. It's like, oh, we released a legendary skin that 1/30th of the player base will use.
Yeah,
So-
Yeah.
So
It's
we're a little
same
bit
sort
lucky
of
in that
issue.
regard.
Yeah. For sure.
100%. But we did. We've been talking about updates. We've advocated for hot fixes and stuff before to kind of ease us over a little bit into in the 6 month between patch cycle. So we just got a hot fix. Anyone like can summarize what we got? Like what was the hot fix about?
We got
performance.
worst performance. Yeah.
Dude, 2.8.2 apparently made the stuttering issues worse. It fixed a few bugs that honestly I didn't even experience. I'm sure that some people are happy, obviously. And it removed the sickle.
Dude, I can't believe they removed it, but here's my theory on it. Is
People
that
are blaming me in comment sections for the sickle removal.
I
You
think
probably are a little to blame.
I think it's well, like, I don't know if you were accused of cheating, but I think it's like people think that it's cheating or something, right? Because of how
legal
fast.
cheating,
Yeah,
100%.
I think
Yeah.
they're like, my theory is that they're getting a lot of false cheating reports from players. And so they just
because
said,
it's
"All
so
right."
fast.
Yeah, exactly.
it was good fun.
But
I really
honestly,
enjoyed it.
like in TO, I don't even think it was that cheap.
Yeah, I
'cause
don't
they-
understand.
No, because someone's gonna bop him in the back of the head
Yeah,
eventually.
yeah.
You see, this is like the dual mindset they keep having, right? It's like we're playing our casual game, but you can't have sickles. Do you
The
understand?
sickle was
Yeah,
glorious.
yeah.
I had a great time with the sickle. That's the most fun
I
I've
don't know,
had
I can't
on the
remember.
new map was the sickle and the noble tossing, and the sickle beat the noble tossing to
The
me.
new Warak skin. The new
Oh,
Warak
I haven't
skin.
bought it yet. That reminds me, I need to buy it tonight.
yeah, me either. I haven't played, but I got to get it.
That is the community voted skin. Apparently, we
Yes.
voted for
Oh,
a
shit.
halberd and a war.
Is it
I was-
bad,
I was
Spartan?
trying to
What do you
be-
think?
I was
Did
trying
you
to
get
be
it?
nice.
it's not. It's okay.
It's a
you know.
bat though. It's like a vampire.
Why?
It's like a vampire axe.
Why?
It's like something out of V Rising or something.
Okay, I think that it is something that someone out there will like.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like I thought that nobody would like the Hershey bar aesthetic Tenosian skin. You know the one I'm talking about? The one where you have brown scales with purple and yellow and green accents. And
Yeah.
I thought no one, but then I saw somebody wearing that. I was like, okay, I guess.
Look, people will wear every skin, so we know that. I thought I hated the barbarian skin when I saw it in the shop, and then I saw someone running around in it, and I'm like, this is freaking hilarious. So
I hate that voice though. I will die on that
I
hill.
find it
that
funny.
fucking voice. It does not work.
I
Doesn't
find it
suit
really
Chivalry.
funny.
I'm gonna shut my mouth.
All right, so we have Spartan here, and he brought some topics that he would like to talk
Yes.
about, and the one probably that I find so interesting is he apparently in his region they play on worse servers than we play in North America. So can you tell us a little bit about that, the experience and what the servers are like?
It's shocking, honestly. It's especially with that stupid wider parry window update. I don't know why they would do that, but it's just 360 blocking. Essentially, it's hit or miss. Active parry.
And it's probably worse on the lower tick servers that you play on.
Yeah. So it's so inconsistent. Yeah.
What tick rate do you guys play on?
I don't know. Someone said 12, but
that's so hard to believe.
Yeah, it could be a bit higher, but it is.
That is incredibly hard to believe.
Yeah,
but it's definitely a lot worse than.
So we got to go a little bit nerd emoji. Okay. Basically, tick rate for dummies, as far as I'm aware, is just how many times the server updates per second. Those are called ticks. So by invading the game's code, some people have discovered that the base tick rate of most servers should be 30, which is pretty bad. 30 updates per second. And so the more updates per second, obviously, the more accurate the server should be, in theory, right? Because let's say it updates like 30 times per second. If you're on the 29th tick and somebody moves, you will not see that movement until the 30th tick. So the more ticks per second, the less time
comparable
in
to
server
frame
updates.
rate kind of.
I was going to ask
refresh rate. Yeah.
I was going to ask if it was like monitor refresh rate of.
Actually, monitor refresh rate does kind of intertwine with it sometimes in weird cases. But anyway, all you got to know is bigger number better. And so when we got 30, that's pretty low. To give you an example, I've been on some Mordhouse servers that have 120. And I would like that. I would like that a lot. But until private servers, we're not going to get that. And so if Spartan's actually like legit, right? And the person that he was talking to was legit and that they actually have some 12 tick rate servers, that's pathetic. That's like,
it could be higher. But it's definitely a lot worse than the US servers.
Yeah, no region should have worse servers. That's silly.
And now Dave was telling me off stream, like for a modern day game, 30 should be the minimum tick rate for a server. Like that's the worst anyone should ever get. So we're getting that at the best. But whatever they're getting in, it's OCE region is what it's called?
Yeah. So Australia and New Zealand and the surrounding islands.
It getting even worse than that.
Yep.
I don't want to paint Torn Banner in a bad light. Like having your base servers at 30 is like fine, right? Like most gamers don't need that much, especially when they won't give us ranked. It's not that big of a deal. But it's kind of just like expected that a different region should not have a worse performing server. It just feels unfair, especially when it's but by the way Spartan talks, it's noticeably worse. It's unenjoyable compared to other servers. That's the biggest point to highlight.
Yeah, for sure. Like they really do need to increase the quality of the servers. I know it costs money, but if they don't want to do that, then at least open up the door for private hosting that we can do it ourselves,
Now, I'd imagine like all the flaws in the combat system, they just get shown more when you're playing at a server.
Yes.
Yep.
I'd imagine it's harder. It's probably harder to do all the skill-based things. I'm assuming it's harder to like counter late drags and those last-second counters. I'm assuming are harder to block.
Yeah.
When the tick rate is low, the position of something is inaccurate because you're seeing it delayed. Because there's more time in between the server updates. And I've actually seen this firsthand, even on our good, lovely North American servers, in specific situations where me and my friends compare footage of the same fight. And on my side, he was like standing there. And on his side, he was standing like here. And it's like, how? And he's like, you got around my block. I'm like, no, my footage shows I just hit you directly in the back. And he's like, no. And he shows on his screen, he was looking right at me. But on my screen, I hit him in the back. So, tick rate is pretty important. You want good servers.
That reminds me of all the Escape from Tarkov clips where you see two vastly different fights that were actually the same fight. And I don't know
So Soter, what you just explained there kind of goes with the theory that some people have, where people are blocking from behind, where it's sort of like their movement is lagged. So you were talking about just now about the clients having different positioning. That kind of supports that theory a little bit, because I know I'm kind of against that theory where, like, because I've seen some back blocks from people that don't really even have a lot of movement going on.
Yeah, interestingly enough,
think
a big defense for the new block changes, which most of us hate, is that the game does not update fast enough to allow you to turn your block to an enemy's attack in time. And so that's actually a big justification that some people are using for the new changes. It's like, well, we made the block wider to accommodate the poor servers. And that is actually a pretty fair justification. But I'm just saying, like, that goes to show you how bad. Yeah, to me, right? But I'm just saying it goes to show you how bad the servers are, to where people are actually using the new block changes as a argument for, accommodating
poor servers.
Yeah.
Dave, as our server expert, I know nothing with this stuff. Is it like that much more expensive for like 60 tick servers?
Well, on a large scale, yes.
Yes.
As a company, you have to justify the purchase with anything, especially someone as corporate as Torn Banner. And so it pretty much has to be, how much happier is our player base going to get with these new servers? 1% happier? No.
Does some of it also depend on the performance of the code on the servers as well? Like, what if they have such spaghetti code that, they like there's a reason why they have to turn the tick rate down so low, is because the code is so spaghetti.
Well, in theory, yes, more people means that they have to put the refresh rate lower. A 120 tick rate server with 64 people probably won't be running that well, and it also might not be that cheap. So it makes sense that they're trying to save every dollar they can, especially assuming Torn Banner back in the day when they first started this game was pretty small, right? So it makes sense that the plans that they decided to go with were 30 tick rate servers. But at this point, they've made quite a pretty penny on us, and now they're making money consistently on us with the Battle Pass. I think that justifies, at the very least, having the tick rate be consistent among all regions.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it's not because they have so few players they can't justify spending on the 30 tick servers?
That could be a reason, but like, that's bullcrap,
I agree. I think players should have the same experience
exactly,
regardless.
Like, do they think that would make them get more players?
If the purchase price is the same, the experience should be about the same, right?
Yeah, good point.
100%, especially on a multiplayer only game.
Yeah. Now, Spartan, do you notice like the smaller player base over there, or are there a few lobbies going on at least, or are you just always playing with the same people?
Bit of both. Like, there's enough going on. There's enough lobbies. I think it's quietening down a little bit now with these stutter issues. But yeah, you'd have at least 5 full servers at all times, or even more. Plenty of dual servers going on. A lot of it's playing with the same people. You can see the same characters.
Yeah, I mean, even in NA East, we get some of that, right? Dave said he can't get in a game without people on his friend list. I run into a lot of people I know too.
I don't play often.
The most populated region.
And I always most populated region, and I always see someone on my friends list. Granted, I have a lot of people on my friends list, but still, it goes to show that it's very hard to not see the same person twice in at least every other day.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. I mean, I really would love to see them make a effort to get everyone on equal footing. So I hope it's something we could do in the future. I know Spartan also had some other topics to talk about that he was interested in. Do we have anything other we want to talk about tick rate before we move on?
I'll say one last thing on the tick rate. Sometimes they don't fix issues because they're simply unaware of the issue that's happening, right? If they don't know, then they have no way of fixing it. And because they're so disconnected, it often takes a lot of work to get them to know. For example, when this game first came out, for like over half a year, in free-for-all and dual servers, jabs and kicks did not collide. the way it worked is that the first person who threw out their jab hit the other. And so people were really confused. They're like, why is the combat system different in free-for-all than it is in Team Deathmatch and TL? And it's simply because no one knew the game yet, right? Because it was a new game, that they just assumed that was intentional. But it was actually just a bug. And because the devs don't know anything, right? They're just working on maintaining all the bugs and stuff. No one told them that. No one reported that. It took them like months to fix that because they didn't know it was an issue. So this same server thing could also be an issue that they don't know about.
This intended or not feature is a great segue into our next topic, because we can talk about stabbing through your teammates.
I was hoping we would get there.
Boy.
I was just going to ask.
Very contentious topic on the Discord right now. Very contentious. We got a lot of passion from both sides. But I want to start off with... you would hope that was originally put in the game for a reason, a design reason. There was a thought process behind it, and it was put there for there was some sort of reason that stabs could do that. I don't know what that reason was, but it's been like that for 2 years. It reminds me a lot of, if it wasn't, have you guys ever played Elder Scrolls Online?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Okay. In Elder Scrolls Online, the game came out with a bug in its combat that it has abilities like Diablo or whatever, but you could throw in a regular auto attack in between those abilities that it couldn't even be seen, but you would get damage for it. And it was left for so long that it became a core feature of the combat. So when they tried to remove this bug 2 years later, people revolted. So I'm curious if this is a similar thing, that it was just put in the game, like went under the cracks, and now they're trying to fix it, or if this was an intended feature, now they're trying to change.
I believe that it was intended. I'll just say that.
Okay. I mean, that's what I always originally thought too. So what do I know we have different opinions here. Spartan, what do you think about the stabbing through teammates?
With the current state of the OCE servers, it's a bit of a saving grace. Like, because fighting with teammates over here is just a mess, you know. You're just getting hit constantly. You're hitting people constantly. Hit stop on teammates. So actually to have one attack that finally gets through in times like that is actually a bit of a saving grace.
Okay. Yeah. No, I could see that too. Scotty, what are you thinking with it here?
I saw your video, Stridah.
Oh, good.
No, I think I disagree, and or with your video a bit. I think that I can see why your thought process a bit is when you're in choke points and stuff, the combat in those choke points might take a lot longer, especially with lower level players kind of dinking around in front of you. But for me, I really think that whenever I stab through a teammate, it's unintentional, and I really try to play without doing that on purpose ever. I cringe inside when I do that. I think it's something that it's like there's a beauty to like positioning in these types of games to me that I think that like stabbing through teammates kind of takes away. And it could be also be, I was thinking too that like when you're on defense a lot, when you're on Dark Forest attack or something, when there's just piles of attackers, your positioning is kind of knocked down a notch. Even if you do have good positioning, there could be, a poleaxe just swinging above or stabbing through, or a halberd or a spear, whatever it is, just getting you without you even knowing. And there's something there that's has a disconnect with how beautiful positioning is in 64-man and how beautiful it can be, that no matter how well you play, you still could fall to stab damage that's just unblockable, unreadable. So I'm on the side that they should put it in, man. I'm really on that side. I think that it's very important that positioning is taken into account in every fight, and I don't really see a good argument that I've heard other than like, I like the feel of the combat already, or noob teammates in front of me. I would really like to be convinced otherwise. I just haven't really heard an argument for it that really strikes me as. But, you know, and this is also another thing I'm going to say, disclaimer, is like, I need to be able to test this for 10 to 20 games to see how it feels.
That's not an option.
Yeah, but it's not an option.
It's going live.
In an ideal world,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
That torn banner could provide to us a little, I'm just saying, like this is something that really needs. This is something that really needs.
This
to be
is
tested.
also a major issue with the discussion. Is it's so hard to decide because what I decide is basically how the game is going to be for the next 6 months. It's like I have to be this. Like steadfast in my opinion, because there is no testing it. It's we're changing the game now to work like this, and it's gonna be that way, and you're gonna deal with it.
But
it's
you know,
like, come on.
Props to Moon for posting the discussion though, because like we need that. At least we have a little bit of that communication. I don't know how much. I don't pay much attention to the Shiv Discord. I don't know how much they do that, but is this kind of a weird off the cuff thing?
This is the first time. Yes.
Okay.
This is the first time we've ever been asked about our opinion on a balance change ever.
Okay.
Now the feedback forum has always been there, but it's always been like we may or may not accept your feedback.
It's the Dave section of the Discord server.
Exactly. The Dave. Well, not anymore.
It was the Dave section of the Discord server.
Exactly. But anyway, I'll tell you my opinion, Stridah. All right. You might not like this, but I'm going to give you the competitive perspective because
the competitive perspective though is 0.5% of the game.
Listen. We have 4 people here. You all make up the rest. I make up the 0.5. Right. Most of my gameplay in this game is in competitive matches, and I know that at the moment it is high level strategy to poke through your teammate into the enemy because it is very difficult to read an attack puncturing the enemy's stomach in front of you and then coming towards you. So that is a very difficult thing to read, and it is a very high level strategy that's used. And to be honest with you, I just don't feel it feels like valid gameplay. And so to see it gone would be enjoyable to me. I'm also a big fan of consistency. It's why I hated the change that added a jab cooldown on dodge, because I think the only thing that should cause a jab cooldown is a jab. I don't think that anything else should. And so I don't like the idea that the stab goes through teammates when the slash and the overhead don't. I think maybe you could have the heavy stab go through teammates and not the regular stab, right? Because heavy slashes go through teammates and heavy overheads, but you know, I don't understand why regular stabs go through. I understand that it will be annoying to have to play around your dumb teammates now when you could have saved them by just stabbing through them. But take the perspective of someone playing in a lobby equal to the players around them. Whether it be noobs on noobs or whether it be pros on pros, now they won't have to deal with getting hit by stabs that they couldn't have seen or they couldn't have anticipated. And overall, the game would be more consistent with that change. That's what I think.
Yeah, I understand all that, but dealing with the shitters in public TO, man.
I mean, Stridah, don't you also hate when you're just like running around, right? And you see in the distance like a XV1 on a teammate, and you just see 18 people stabbing into each other into that one guy, and then they do more team damage to themselves than like I've seen fights where the teammates are all like I've seen 3 people go down in a XV1 against a noob because they're all killing each other. It's just like sloppy gameplay, man.
I don't like using realism for anything, right? I don't like saying like, oh, this is not realistic.
Yeah, I'm not a realism guy. I'm not a realism Andy either.
But in my opinion, stabbing through people as a strategy is a little bit too jarring to me to be like, yeah, let's keep that. I don't care about realism that much, but that's just silly to look at.
To me, it's a saving grace on frustration. I'm just thinking, like, if you're in the castle in Thaic, right? Like, you have the walls there, you have the cranks there, you got windows there, you got your teammates fucking everywhere. So much shit you can hit stop on. So I will attempt not to stab them, but I'm going to throw my stabs. And the saving grace is if one of these morons runs right in front of me, it goes through him and still hits my target.
You got to learn the Scotty Sky Piercer, dude. You got to learn the Scotty Sky Piercer. You got to jump over.
For Dave and I, it's worse because we're in first person, so we can't see them coming, and you can't hear them coming either until they fucking eat my stab on the back of their head. So for me, I feel like the frustration level this is going to cause is going to be rage-inducing. I already see it happening. There's going to be clips of me fucking team killing people and finishing them, and like.
Could this create a meta where if you're in the front line, you have to be crouched so people could stab over you? That would be like,
jeez.
you know what? I was thinking
people
about
with
that
spears
today.
already do jump stab over their teammates because. Sometimes obviously it's not the ideal strategy to stab through your teammate, and so it's ideal to stab over them because the spear stab actually stabs like over, it doesn't stab in a straight line.
It has like an arc to the swing like
so
this. Yeah.
that's already what people
and Bank
do.
are already, are flying around like the Spider-Man. But I'm glad you brought up the spear because I do feel like this was intended to be a nerf towards spears, but it's just going to be like a broad nerf to every stab. I don't like when buffs and nerfs aren't intentional. Like it's just a big sweeping like drop of the hammer. So I don't like when games do that. It reminds me of Battlefield 5. They did a lot of changes to their combat through the years, but they did a massive overhaul to their combat where they nerfed every SMG, every AR by the same amount, and it just made some weapons become so obsolete. It was just ridiculous because it was just sweeping. Everything drops by 5. So it just, to me, when it's not intentional, if it's supposed to be a spear nerf, let's nerf the spear. Let's find a better way to do it.
I would love to play around with it, but look, let's put it like this. If there is no testing at all, then I guess I could be okay with it not being changed, right? Like if I'm forced to either have it either way with no test server at all, and I never get to even see the gameplay of that change and how it looks before testing it, then no, I wouldn't change it. Because
it's all theory crafting from us at this point.
Exactly, and I don't like to theory craft. I like to just play it.
This wasn't proposed as a spear nerf at all, right?
No,
I think
really.
that's why. I think that's.
You think that's why,
complaints, I think
Stridah?
are about spears in comp matches and high level play. I mean, they're limited. I think it's about spear stats.
You think it's all about spears?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
I'm
I
gonna say
think the
that with
longsword
confidence.
can make some egregious stab through teammates as well. I think, also some of the pole arms can, but maybe you're right. But I don't know about that.
I think 80%, just making up numbers here, was because spear and halberd. I don't know if Dave, you're in those communities more, but would you kind of agree that was the most?
Yeah, if you're talking about the competitive side of things, yeah, the spear and halberd are like, they're not really hated by the community because yes, they're the best weapons in the game, but most of the competitive players kind of agree that they don't need to be nerfed because Pullman itself is not that strong. Like the pole arms are strong, but bandage kits aren't that strong, and the footman health bar isn't that strong, and the footman stamina bar isn't that strong. So it's like people are kind of okay with that being how the balance is designed. So inadvertently nerfing them, we'll have to see if it makes Pullman obsolete. Probably not. I doubt it will, but
For pubs, I feel like there's not even that big of a deal for nerfing spears because so few players run spears because it's the least badass weapon you can choose. So, like, are you gonna if you just got Chivalry 2 on PSN, are you gonna grab a two-handed spear or a fucking axe? Like, come on. So I don't see that many spears in 64. Like outside of when I'm playing with Steppo,
you get the
very
occasional
rarely see someone
two-handed
running.
spear.
Occasional, yeah, but comparative to like greatsword, no.
no, I agree with you completely.
Till you run into that level 200 spear user that's played spear for all those 200 levels.
I don't know how some of those guys can play spear so much. I find it so boring. Like
It is
I
the
would
most
say,
potent weapon. Like it is the
potent
best.
or not, I've probably only played
kinda fun.
spear max 15 times since the game released because I'm bored out of my mind and then won't do it again for months.
It's kind of fun
I
though.
agree.
It's kind of fun. I whip it out sometimes.
The novelty
Weapon
can last
Request
for one
Wednesdays,
round.
like-
One round.
It's funny how it's really only been nerfed once, and it was like a knockback nerf.
It was a
nerf,
really
a
minor
nerf
nerf,
to
yeah.
its knockback on block,
Which is
okay.
fine. I like that they go very easy on their nerfs because like Call of
Yeah,
Duty
it's
where
fine.
they just gut a weapon, that's no good.
Like I said, I don't think it needs to be nerfed. This game isn't like Call of Duty or other games. We can balance weapons within the context of the subclass. So Pullman itself isn't that good. So it's okay if the pole weapons are really good because the subclass itself is not that good.
Yeah.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, no, totally makes sense. Yeah, I mean that's I would say the worst class outside of Ambusher. right? So
Yeah, Footman is pretty weird. It's like, because of how damage bonuses work, it's advertised as the middle of the road for health and and stuff, but it kind of dies faster than Vanguard because of how damage bonuses work, and it has the same amount of stamina as Knight. So then it ends up kind of just being mid. And obviously Bandage Kit is like a wet fart compared to Warhorn or Banner. So
I mean, Warhorn is so good. It's and Banner also, but so I think it seems we're like at a 2-2 lock here on the stab changes, right? I think me and Spartan are against them, and
I mean, it makes sense, if all the attacks have hit stop, then Stab should have it also. But it's just for me, it's a saving grace,
no, that's and. To me, it's again like there must have been a reason they made it like that. So we're gonna abandon the reason now.
Well,
dude,
like
I might
said,
go with the bug theory on that one.
You might go with the bug theory.
I think I
could be right.
The reason I say that it's not
wouldn't
a bug
shock me
is because Moon, when he wrote the thread, he was like a proposed change. Like what flowery language?
I think proposed change is a way of softening the blow. That's 100% coming.
I mean, wait,
So-
what do you guys have against that language? It is a proposed change.
I'm saying that
you're-
the way
No,
you
it's a
said it like
change
that,
that's coming.
You're saying that it's just a
Yeah, it's
TV
not
way
proposed,
of
it's
sugarcoating?
coming.
Okay, got
Yeah,
it.
I think
got
that's just easing the blow. Let us get our words and pash it out, but it's coming.
it. But it's coming regardless.
It's coming
just
no
like
matter what.
everything, every
They
other
put
patch,
the
they
work
don't listen.
into testing it in whatever way they're testing it or coding it
Maybe it
into
was
the game.
how
It is
angry
coming.
will
it's
this
gonna be
make you
tested
guys?
with the internal
Maybe.
testers.
Okay.
How angry will it make me? I don't know. When
No.
there's the clip
I'm
of
just.
me-
That's what it should have been worded as. Is how angry will you guys be if this is in the game?
100%. Get it out now. Get it out now.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
But we'll see. As I said, it's coming. So I'm curious if it's gonna turn the meta into just Messer Wars again. But I don't know. I'll have to play
Not
it.
sure.
I'll have to play it in a lobby in like a clan battle or something.
Dude, honestly, I think it would make positioning
opinion.
so much more valuable in group fights. I'm all for it, but I could be wrong. But I feel like it's, there's some weird shit that happens in some of these, group fights, especially when you're on the bridge of Lion Spire or something, and there's just constant, swinging and stabbing. I think it's good.
See,
Anyways.
I know Scotty loves those fights, and I'm not the biggest fan of choke points to begin with. I much rather the open Aberfall fights where I can use my movement, flank, and make plays. So I can see it being a frustrating experience. I'm telling you, when you have the clip of me intentionally firebomb my entire fucking team, and you know what caused me to go there.
Yeah, we all know you're toxic, bro. We get it, bro.
Not as toxic as Dave. I don't got no bans.
Oh, you're right. You're
That's
right.
true.
Dave is more toxic.
Yeah. Have you had any mutes though, Stridah?
What's that?
Have you had any mutes from the Discord?
No. I'm pretty well behaved in the official.
That's what's so weird. I've never been muted in the Discord.
They
might
just
have
went
been.
full force.
Oh, yeah, exactly. They were just like, all right, that's it. So I don't know.
They just were
that
like,
guy.
we had enough of this guy's mustache, dude. Like,
I'm telling you, it was a shut the fuck up Dave, man.
Might
So
have been.
one of the mods got fed up with his nonstop posts and like searched through his last 2 years of history to find like one word or statement that was inappropriate and fucking banned him. Oh man! All right, now speaking, the coach would like to before we wrap up here, would like to make a plug for the National Chivalry League here.
Yeah, of course.
So we're gonna give him the stage.
Yeah, so tournament grounds in the next, I think, week or so, we'll be starting up. It's NCL, aka National Chivalry League. They have two different types of NCLs that they do, the LTS version and the TO version. For the next few weeks, they're going to be on the LTS version, last team standing, and they're allowing all teams that want to sign up to sign up. Needs to be 5 people, and it'll start with a Swiss bracket, I believe, and end up eventually in the finale if you win enough matches. And so they kind of just want as many people as possible. Pretty much every clan that I can think of is signing up. Every clan that has 5 sufficient dudes. So if anybody wants to, they're asking.
Okay, now how many teams are signed up, Dave, for the?
I don't know right now. I think like maybe 10.
Okay.
Maybe like something like that. I know every clan is either sending 1 or 2 teams because some clans have like
2 teams.
Yeah, some clans have like dozens of members, and so they're sending 2 teams, and other clans have like barely 8 members, so they're sending 5 people, 1 team. But to my knowledge, every clan is participating. So I think it's cool. I'll be casting some matches on that as well.
So Dave, you're not playing, you're casting?
No,
or
I
are we
played
gonna
in.
pull you out of the booth too.
No, I played in the last one, so I won't be playing. I'll be subbing for a team. So if they like have a emergency or whatever with one of the members, then I'll sub in and play. But for the most part, I should be casting matches, not participating.
Okay.
I was in the last one, so
Who's going to be joining you in the booth, Dave?
most likely Cody. No,
Okay.
but I think they're gonna try and get Richmond Gold. Not sure.
What? I thought he was deleted from the internet.
Yes. Last we heard, Rich was gone.
I think he's making a comeback.
I
Really?
No
would
way.
love if Rich makes a comeback. We
Same
don't
here.
know what happened to Rich.
They-
We want Rich back.
They like to pair up like a charismatic guy and a knowledgeable guy, like a guy knowledgeable on the game. So they want to pair me up with someone who's actually
You're not the
funny.
charismatic guy? What the
No,
hell, Dave?
not at all. And
If you
so-
worked on your charisma, you wouldn't have got banned from the Discord, dude.
I know, right? so they're probably gonna have me and then one other guy who's actually entertaining to listen to, and then I'll be pointing out anything that I think is actually like worth talking about while he actually entertains the stream, and it'll be really fun. So I want people to watch it, and I also want people to play in it. So
Yeah. How would you say the play differs from your normal lobby in the NCL, Dave?
significantly, with a smaller player count game mode, you're bound to expect more individual value out of each player. When you're playing on a large team, it's super fun, but you make up a smaller portion of that team, and so you're less impactful on the game. But here, you really get to see the actual game mechanics shine, as well as individual skill, with it being 5v5, no respawns. So it's super cool. You're bound to see the highest level of gameplay possible. And eventually there will be the TO one after this one's done. But I like both, so I watch both.
Yeah, I know. I'm waiting for the TO1. I'm super excited for that to come back. I might have to
I'll
put
be in
some-
that one. I will be in that
Yeah,
one.
yeah. That's that'll be a good time. Then we'll get to if we get Scotty in there. All of us can cross swords at some point.
Ooh.
Be a good time.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Sounds
don't get
naughty.
excited. Don't get excited. Don't get excited. I don't want to start the things about Scotty and moms in the bedroom again. Well, I already had enough uncomfortable moments on here. Boys, does anyone have anything they want to close with before we start taking some questions?
Scotty and Hot Mums.
Yeah.
Kiddo.
Hot moms, you can contact me on my YouTube and my Twitch. You can see here.
Spartan, if you did not know, there are Scotty viewers who offer their mother freely to him in the bedroom.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
It's
yeah,
a
yeah.
joke.
Despicable.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Spartan's one of them. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really have any other closing thoughts other than, yeah, I guess I don't know. I think we should maybe touch on something about what we can do to maybe get TB to listen to the community more. I guess I think that might be helpful. I guess what do you guys think about that? Like, I think maybe some closing thoughts around like Ziggy's.
I think that the biggest sentiment that Ziggy tried to get across, which I think I share, is that Torn Banner at the moment is too corporate. They don't feel like us. They don't feel like gamers. They don't feel like they care. They feel like they are selling a product to us, and it does not feel like they want the game to be something that is lasting memories, but a product meant to garner as many sales as possible. And that is always going to be a bad feeling.
Yeah.
And they don't have the production value or the staff to back up that type of mentality, you know? They're
Right.
as much as they would like to not be, they are still an indie studio that produces low content. And so they have to maximize quality, not quantity.
Yeah, no, 100%. I can't dispute anything that Ziggy said. I thought it all was 100% accurate. I thought he did a great job on the video. I loved it. I support the notion. And as Dave said, Torn Banner, they're more of the local business. You go to them, the prices might be a little bit higher. You go to them for the relationships that you have with these small businesses. It's not like you're running into fucking like Target or Walmart or something. You're going to a place down the block. So you
or
want
it's
to
like
get that
Blizzard or
experience. So I think
something
that's
like that.
kind of what he's asking for, just a little bit more communication and stuff.
And then you turn
So
over the
I hope
plate
we
and
get
it says "Made in China."
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think the
Reap says
the whole
they're
thing will
starting
be
to feel like
ignored.
my dad, says Reap. Sorry. They're absent. Sorry, go on, Stridah. I had to...
No, I said unfortunately I think the issue will be ignored, but
Yeah.
okay, comments from the chat. Electra Cal said she has no interest as a mother in the Scotty bedroom and thing. I think
It's all
she's
good,
bad
Cal.
taste,
It's all good,
personally,
Cal.
yeah. Maybe if he shaved the stash,
Yeah, that's it.
There's too much man underneath that.
Yeah.
Cece Khan says, how can we get Torn Banner to put some respect on console players' names?
They did. They made it free. Fuck yeah.
Okay. That might be the best answer we've ever had on here. They made it free. Let's go.
Wasn't it only free? Is it still free on the
Game Pass and PlayStation Plus.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought the PlayStation Plus was only for a month, but maybe that was something else. But okay.
I think it was if you grabbed it, you keep it forever. But it was only for that time.
Got
but
it.
if you grab it, you keep
Yeah,
it.
something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. We got a great question from Bigger Brain Boy, and I actually got a story here. So he says, what kind of things would you like to see in a new community manager at Torn Banner?
Oh my God,
and
easily.
Interesting story here. So if you guys don't know, Dave is a fucking wild man. So Dave sent me like a fucking 10-paragraph essay of how I should quit my job and apply for the community manager job at Torn Banner and save Chivalry. And then I was talking to Bubbles the other day, and Bubbles is actually going to apply. But
Awesome.
he got a very similar pitch from Dave, and I just wanted Bubbles to know that Bubbles was Dave's second choice for community manager. That was the first.
Hey, that'd be sick. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, what would we want from a community manager? This is Dave.
Okay.
This is Dave.
All right. Yeah. No. Okay. First off, the community manager before Jen, I'm pretty sure he actually played the game competitively. So first off,
I didn't know there was one before Jen.
yes. So yeah, first he got laid off because the company almost went under. But anyway, what I want from a community manager, not all of these are necessary, by the way. But these are just like the ideal, you know. To be a good community manager, you don't need a lot of this stuff. Ideally, he understands the game. Ideally, it's a he. Call me sexist. I don't care. I don't care. Ideally, it's a he.
Who has a mustache?
Who has a mustache? Some, you know.
The chat's fucking saying I should grow a mustache right now. God damn it.
He should have at least a surface level understanding of the game. More importantly, I think what he does need is an understanding of us, what we want from the game, you know? He needs to talk to us. He needs to know us. At least, like, the us that matter, you know? The people who play the game often. They should have a relationship with us, and they should talk to us. The title is called Community Manager. They should manage us. What Torn Banner wants from a community manager, they more want, like, a glorified content creator for their studio. But what we want is someone to actually talk to us and transfer our feedback to the development team. Basically act as a bridge between the little guy and the business owner. So that's pretty much the most important thing. Everything else is secondary.
Well, just to be present, that's a key
Just present.
factor, isn't it? Like, I'm a moderator for Pavlov VR, and the community manager will just every now and then he'll jump in one of the VCs and just play Pavlov with randoms, you know. If you get in, you know.
I know that the other slasher developers are small, but whenever I DM the community manager, instant response, hey, you want to talk about this? You know, here's your answers, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I can't answer that. Whatever. I can answer this. Let's talk. Talking to Torn Banner, oh man, that's like you're applying for citizenship for a country.
China.
It's really bad.
I would love if they actually hired Bubbles. That would be amazing.
I think that'd be amazing.
He would
too.
do a great job at it too. 'Cause
Yeah.
he does a good job of always being positive about things, and he stays away from the more risky talks about Torn Banner bad. So
Yeah.
I think he would be amazing for it.
The more important thing is you need someone balanced, someone that can satisfy both the competitive and the casual community, and someone that can relay the information that they're hearing from the people to the developers, because those guys are completely oblivious and they need someone to spoon feed them the info. They do.
The Baba Duck just said, anyone know if Jen is single? Love a gal who isn't afraid to put me in my place with a ban or two.
You have a little visitor,
Oh,
Stridah.
I got a visitor. We made it to the end of the cast. You saying hi?
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Realism.
What are you doing in here?
He heard Jen.
All right. You're not supposed to be in. Go get Mom. Close my door. Yep, I'll be out to see you in a minute.
He
I
wants
think I have-
Roblox now.
I
dude.
have a friend who got banned from the Discord for sending a poem to Jen.
We're sending a poem
A
to
love
Jen?
poem. Yeah, a love poem. And it was written to her. And then she said that she liked it, but he got banned anyway for a day or something.
He got banned anyway.
She said she liked it.
Look,
So I don't
man,
know.
the rules are rules, bro. So,
Yeah, exactly.
I respect it. That's hilarious. But yeah,
we need to come up with a
talk
new,
about people being
hashtag, right?
balanced. Like, I'm
new
way
hashtag.
too reactive to be a community manager. I would get I can't even take fucking YouTube comments without firing at people.
Yeah, hashtag Emperor for Bubbles for community manager, right?
I heard somebody say there's also this other guy. You guys probably don't know him because he's not a content creator, but Weaponized Funk, the GOAT. Some of you know him.
Funk, yeah, is
would be-
amazing contributor to the community.
If you've read their job posting, they're kind of just looking for an actual content creator.
I didn't read it.
Yeah, they're mainly looking for a content creator in that position. But I still think that Funk would be goated for that role as well because he knows everyone in the community. He does all the work for everyone.
I would love to see them go back to the community live streams and bring creators like what we're doing on to talk with them, and I'm sure it would be a lot more scripted and there would be.
They used to
limited
do
talking
that.
points.
Do you remember?
But they used to do that, yeah, and I feel like they could have been better and they could have got people with better personalities on to really bring some energy and stuff to the things. But with a good community manager, like imagine someone like Bubbles hosting that and bringing some people on, it would be amazing.
Oh yeah, I agree. There is there needs to be synergy. There needs to be like chemistry between the
100%.
community manager and the people playing the game. That's why I said that it's not important, but maybe it is to have someone who plays the game in that position, someone who actually likes the game, and likes Torn Banner. You really don't want an employee in that position. You want a gamer in that position.
Kegs wants to know if TO players feel like it would be a waste of dev time to make a dual map without scuffed spawns, terrain, and cooldowns on resupply. No, I think that would be a great idea. They should do it. It seems low
Waste
effort
of
too.
time.
Easy.
Get some brick on a flat ground with some fences around. I don't see why that's
I'll
not
let you in
possible.
on a little hint. Modder's already made one.
You sent me that stuff, but again, when it's modding and there's not easy to get to mods, you eliminate 99.9% of people.
Well, no, I mean that they could just take that mod and put it in.
Yeah.
In
Yeah,
Chivalry
yeah, just
1,
put it in the game.
Chivalry 1, they took tons of modded maps and put them into the game as official maps.
Yeah, that
they
would
could
be
simply
great.
just do that. And also, the modded map uses only Chivalry assets. It doesn't use any third-party assets. So it's literally just a completely repurposed map, and it looks great.
Yeah, I would love that. Support it 100%. Jester thinks they need a full-on gamify Shiv, go full-on health regen and team damage off. I'm not sure if he's serious or not. I think he's trolling.
That's what LTS is. Well, team damage is still on in LTS, but you don't regenerate health.
Yeah, true.
Oh,
Just full hardcore mode.
Yeah.
I think no, I think Jester is talking more like Battlefield, where if you don't get shot for 30 seconds, you go for full health. And no team damage.
That might take away from the importance of horns and banners and.
Yeah, I don't like it. Yeah, it will make them not obsolete, but
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
That's how Chivalry 1 was. It didn't have any abilities, but you could
Yeah.
regenerate your full health bar without a bandage.
And I kind of like the kind of, ultimate abilities that you get. I think it's cool. You can
I
have
like
an
them too.
impact. I think it's great. So yeah, I would be against that in Shiv 2.
Yeah, I would be against that. And you guys, I don't like drastic changes, so.
You wouldn't be against no archer mode though.
Is that drastic?
No, I like it. I want it to happen.
Yeah, me too. Me too. That'd be amazing. All right. Any other questions before we're over time here? Before we let everyone go, if anyone's got anything in any of the chats, I don't know if Scotty, if you have anything or Spartan.
I just got some troll in the chat talking about how he's level 69 for the day next on shiv stats. Just some nonsense in my chat right now.
Now, Velvet Hammer did say, I don't know what this means, but it must be a shot at Dave. That Dave only rolled an 8 on charisma. Is there like what are you rolling out of?
Out of 20.
Out of 20.
Out of 20. So damn, he's under 50% on charisma.
He rolled a 7 plus 1 for the mustache on charisma.
I didn't know what it meant, but I was like, he definitely fired a shot here.
Yeah, 8 out on a D20. Yeah, that sounds about right.
8 on a D20. Damn, feels bad. Oh, we got a raid coming in from Dylan here. Welcome to the podcast, Dylan. You guys are a little bit late. We're just wrapping up here, but thank you for the raid and welcome. If you guys have any questions for the panel of Knights of the Square Tablet, please let us know. Mitmat wants a congrats to Sweden on over 500 years of independence. So congrats to Sweden on your
Congrats to Sweden.
Yeah.
4 S's, dude. 55 pies.
The Mac would like to know how far we squirt. Scotty?
I got a better question. How many dicks y'all suck?
Oh my god.
From my chat.
We went there. Yeah.
All right.
This is like my streams.
A yard.
It just gets weird.
Another shot taken at Coach Dave. Why is Soter a rat? From Dylan.
Okay.
Soter's been getting blasted here.
Look, I'll take all the slander. I don't mind.
Is he actually
The man
saying you
had
look
a
like
bad
a rat?
day. He got banned from the official Discord where he spends like half of his day. Okay. Velvet Hammer fucking put some shots at him on his charisma, and now Dylan's calling him a rat. Jesus.
Like rat features or
No,
like
they're
a rat?
talking about how I play in
Right.
game.
I was going to say features, but
I do look a little bit rat-like, I guess.
well, that's the theory. There is a theory. Shit, you know, you either look like a frog or a rat.
What?
So yeah, and once you think about it, it's true. You start looking around.
No,
and
I'm not
you
going to
look at
think
people.
about it. I'm not going to think about it.
Okay, now we're getting some
Fair enough.
compliments on Dave's mustache to
Well, thank you.
to even things out a little bit. But boys, if we had nothing else, we're gonna wrap up the cast here. I know we're all gonna probably head into our normal stream activities, but love to all. Thank you for joining us. Spartan,
course.
thank you joining us from New
Thanks for
Zealand.
having me.
I will never be able to find that on the map. But
Just
Right
like
next to
Australia did.
Australia. Yeah, it's right next to.
Yeah.
I'm still so disappointed he's not from Australia.
It's
I
like
had a great intro.
It's like, isn't that like one of the only other countries in that continent?
Yes, there's not much down here.
See, this is why Dave can't be in the Are You Smarter Than a Sixth Grader Chivalry
Oh,
game, because he's
God.
gonna win.
Oceania, bro. Oceania servers. Those go hard.
All right, gentlemen. Anyway, love to all. I'll see you guys
Hey, much love,
during
guys.
the week. Talk to you.
Yeah,
All right,
peace
let
out,
me,
homies.
Yep.
Have a good one, everyone.
All right, guys, thanks.
Peace.
Peace.